Yo, 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 yo. What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. These weekends, these strong ends, as the brothers blue and red pill say, strong end go really fast, but peace and love. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Yo, yo, yo. The more way, peace and love. Thank you for tuning in, good brother. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Monday. Happy mindful and miraculous Monday. Happy mindful and miraculous Monday. We are here with another week here on SR Daily, kicking off week 82. Week 82, episode 404. Moving right along, man. Second week, first full week in the new hundreds, right? 400 on the road to 500. Last week with the 400th episode last Tuesday, but last Monday started with 399. So this is the first full week in the 400s, right? We're going to keep this thing rolling. We're going to keep this thing pushing. We are here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Every 100th episode is a special episode. It is 1 hour long. And up until the 400th episode, it was a live studio audience. Because of an injury, we had to do the episode from home, but we did have a guest. We had a virtual guest, my man Louis P. Sosa. We talked politics and what the Democratic primary win by Zohran Mamdani here in New York City for mayor, how that impacts us on the ground, how that impacts us not just in New York City, but throughout the country, right? What that means in terms of politics going forward, from young people coming out in historical numbers to Zoran being a democratic socialist and got the freaking political landscape on fire. Republicans and Democrats, quote unquote, left wing, right wing, everybody's talking crazy about Zoran, right? And democratic socialism. People who I thought wanted real progress, throwing shots at him, right? Throwing him under the bus, talking about we don't need this, we don't need that. He's insane. 50 Cent talking about Zoran is insane, man. But Zoran got a good plan, right? Got a good plan, man. Got a good heart, got a good mind. And we're gonna see how this thing goes, man. We're gonna do our best to continue to change the tide, man. Continue to turn the tide here in New York City, but also throughout the country and throughout the world, man. We need a better world, and a better world is possible. We just got to dare to do things that are different, right? We cannot keep doing the same things, expecting a different result. Voting the same way, educating ourselves and our children the same way, eating the same way. We cannot continue to do the same exact things, thinking that things are going to change, right? But let us hit the share button. Let us share this live with 5 to 10 of your people, right, who may be interested in tuning in. I'm doing 20 real quick. Share with 20 plus folks real fast on the quick Instagram share, right? Make sure you do the same, please. Share with 5 to 10 of your friends, just 5 to 10 of your friends who may be interested in tuning in. That is a bar. Every time I say it, I'm like, oh yeah, baby, I'm a star. I like throwing out little rappy raps, little rhymey rhymes, right? I'm doing a little more than 20, actually, about 30 something. We're gonna stop right there. We are going to get the show started. Peace and love, brother Sefu Sankofa. Happy Monday, my brother. Happy Monday. I miss you, man. I miss you, my brother. Hope you had a good weekend, great weekend. I'm sure you did. International African Arts Festival, 54th annual. I was not able to get out there with you, man. I was hoping I would. Wasn't even supposed to be in town, but injury kept us in town and, move a little bit, but I wasn't able to get to Brooklyn and be on my feet all day. That wasn't in the equation, but I'm sure you had a great time. Hope that you guys, really enjoyed yourself, man, and feel good about your presence. Hope that you was able to spread a powerful message about freeing our political prisoners, right? Not letting them die in prison. But we're going to get the show started, guys. I am your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Morrison. You are tuned into SR Daily episode 404 on this Monday, July 7, 2025, kicking off week 82. SR Daily is where personality meets enlightenment. We are here Mondays through Fridays, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m., right here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Instagram Live. And today we're going to start with our first segment. Today's first segment is a word of the day. Today's word is demonstrate. That is our word of the day. Demonstrate. Demonstrate is defined as to give a practical exhibition and explanation of how a machine, skill, or craft works or is performed. To make evident or establish by arguments or reasoning to prove. To demonstrate implies showing by action or display of feeling. Let's read that one more time and get a better understanding. Demonstrate is defined as to give a practical exhibition and explanation of how a machine, skill, or craft works or is performed, right? You could tell somebody how the machine works, how to, print something, or you could just demonstrate. You can show them, right? You can tell someone, right, how to backflip, or you can demonstrate. You can show them. You can tell someone, for example, my fiance could have told me this morning how to do a bed stretch, right? But she demonstrated and she showed me, right? Do like this, do like that, and I was able to do it. Right, so demonstrate. Also to make evident or establish by arguments or reasoning, right? To prove. You can also demonstrate with your words, right? You can prove that something is what it is, something exists how it exists, whatever the case may be, to prove, right? Argue, to establish by arguments or reasoning. To demonstrate implies showing by action or by display of feeling. So now this word, right, why this word came up, or why I chose this word this morning, came up a lot last weekend at our second annual, well, not our, but yes, our, right? This is the community. At the second annual V-Locator Summit at Urban Vegan Roots here in Astoria. Last weekend, my brother Jay Ton, he mentioned it a lot, right? They asked a question, say, you about demonstrate. And it's something that I've used, right? I've been using for years, like demonstrate, right? Like we don't got to yell, you just demonstrate your position. Specifically, I would use that word in terms of like activism, right? For example, I would say that in 2020, after George Floyd was brutally murdered, we did a demonstration in Queensbridge, right? We demonstrated our disgust, we demonstrated our desires and our power by doing a walk from the community center down 41st Avenue to 21st Street, and down 21st Street, we blocked traffic at both entrances of the Queensboro Bridge, right? Both entrances, man, we was able to hold up traffic for the amount of time that the brother was choked, right? He had, the officer had his knee on his neck. That's how much time we stood and blocked traffic. Right, so we demonstrated, right? That was a demonstration, right? Yeah, right, like a practical exhibition, right, of how people come together and express their disgust. It was what did I call it? I called it not a day of rage. It was unrest, social unrest for change. That, right, that's what it was. Social unrest for change. We were able to demonstrate what we wanted, demonstrate what we didn't want, demonstrate our disgust and our desire at the same time, right? That was powerful. What is happening? Oh man, yo, life is a trip. Literally. Pardon me. Oh man. But yeah, that's our word of the day, right? And it's valid, right? Because all we got to do, yes, argue, right? You can demonstrate by arguing, right? By arguing, by explaining, by reasoning. But all we got to do is demonstrate our philosophies, right? In order to encourage or convince people that we know what we're talking about, right? And specifically last week, the brother, I think somebody asked, or I think the brother Nick, right, who was hosting the event, who organized the event last week, the V-Locator Summit, I think he asked a question about like veganism and it working, right, and how it benefited us. And so you just demonstrate, right, like look, right. And that was part of my response. I said 41, stronger than I've ever been physically, right, feeling younger than I felt at 16, right, in most ways, right, freaking incredible energy, skin clearer, mindset clearer, heart purer, right, I'm calmer, I'm more peaceful. I was extremely violent then, extremely tempered. Now you can say things, you can do things. It's not going to take me out. It may make me uncomfortable. It may make me a little bothered, but it's not going to make me respond how you want to. I'm way more in control of, again, my emotions, specifically way more control of my actions and the things that I do. I don't just do everything that I feel, right? I may feel angry. I don't got to respond in anger. Yes, I got to get it out, but I don't have to respond to a person or react in anger, right? So that's all we have to do is just demonstrate, man. Like, and again, yes, you can demonstrate by argument or reasoning, right, to prove something, but it's always better to demonstrate by your own life, right? Demonstrate by your own life example. Let your life be the demonstration that whatever it is you're talking about works, whether it's the yoga, whether it's the meditation, whether it's the veganism, whether it's the church, the religion, right? Whatever it is, right? Like demonstrate, let your life be the perfect example of whatever you're talking about working in action in real time. Real simple, right? So that's our word of the day. That is our word of the day. Mona Love, happy Make It Happen Monday. Yeah. Said Fu said, my favorite morning show. Hey, it was powerful. Peace and love, beloved sister. Ha. Good vibes, good vibes. Let's move right along to our second segment of the day. Today's second segment, man, some good news, right? Need some news of the day. So just coming across articles, man, you know, I'm subscribed to the Good News Network. You guys should be subscribed too, because it's good news, man. It's interesting news, right? It's good stuff on there, man. Global news, right? Relating to the environment, climate, humans, animals, technology, all things. But today's news, there are some breakthroughs in research for Parkinson's disease, right? It started in mice, and now they're moving on to human trials, man. So let's read this article on the Good News Network, and let's talk about it, right? So scientists, this is July 6th, this is yesterday. Scientists reversed Parkinson's syndrome symptoms in mice. We were astonished by the success. Let us read and talk about it, because a lot of people in the world dealing with, suffering from Parkinson's disease. And I think that was one that they have said for many years, there's no cure. Many of us know different. We know that every illness, every dis-ease, every variation of, I guess, imbalance, right? Lack of harmony, body being in harmony, can be reversed, can be changed, can be altered, can be shifted. But let's read this article. It's by Anna Schvetz. Groundbreaking research by the University of Sydney has identified a new brain protein involved in the development of Parkinson's disease in a way to modify it, paving the way for future treatments for the disease. With the aim of finding new treatments to slow or stop its progression, the research team has spent more than a decade studying the biological mechanisms underpinning the condition, which is the second most common neurological condition after dementia. In 2017, they identified for the first time the presence of an abnormal form of a protein called SOD1 in the brains of patients diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Normally, the SOD1 protein provides protective benefits to the brain, but in Parkinson's patients, it becomes faulty, causing the protein to clump and damage brain cells. The newest study by the same team, led by Professor K. Double from the Brain and Mind Center, was just published in Acta Neuropathologica Communications. It found that targeting a faulty SOD1 protein with the drug treatment using copper improved the motor function in mice. Copper is powerful. We hope that by treating this malfunctioning protein, we might be able to improve the Parkinson-like symptoms in the mice we were treating. But even we were astonished by the success of the intervention, said Professor Double in the media release. All the mice we treated saw a dramatic improvement in their motor skills, which is a really promising sign that it could be effective in treating people who have Parkinson's disease. The study involved two groups of mice with Parkinson-like symptoms. One group was treated with the special copper supplement for 3 months, while the other received the placebo. Throughout the study, which was partly funded by the Michael J. Fox Foundation, the mice receiving only the placebo saw a decline in their motor symptoms. The mice receiving the special copper supplement, however, did not develop movement problems. The results were beyond our expectations, said Professor Double. They suggest, once further studies are carried out, this treatment approach could slow the progression of Parkinson's disease in humans. At present, there is no known cure and only limited treatments for Parkinson's disease, which is a degenerative disorder in which dopamine-producing cells in the brain die, leading to a range of symptoms, including tremors, muscle stiffness, slow movement, and impaired balance. But researchers hope understanding the causes of the disease will lead to improved treatments. As our understanding of Parkinson's disease grows, we are finding that there are many factors contributing to its development and progression in humans, and faulty forms of the SOD1 protein is likely one of them. Just as researchers found with HIV, Parkinson's disease is a complex condition that likely requires multiple interventions. A single treatment may have a small effect when used alone, but when combined with other interventions, contributes to a significant overall improvement in health. The researchers' next step is to identify the best approach to targeting the faulty SOD1 protein in a clinical trial, which could be the start of a new therapy to slow the development of Parkinson's disease. Incredible. Celebrate the breakthrough by sharing on social media. I've done that. read it here with you guys, man. Go do the research if you want. Grab the article, Google Good News Network, or Google, because I'm sure there are other articles, Google breakthroughs in Parkinson's disease, and you can read more on it if you are interested. If you have a family member, you have a friend, if you know somebody, or if, like me, you're just curious about just the improvements in health and technology and like all of the things, man, because our goal is to get us to be healthier. That is the goal, right? That's my life mission. It's to heal the world, right? That is the goal of my ministry, is to get us healthier mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, in all of the ways. But I think that's some pretty dope news, man. I think that's pretty dope news, right? Again, it says, no known cures, right? And that's we know. But for all that we know, is so much that we don't know, and so we humble ourselves, man, and we realize that we got to figure this thing out together, right? All different people from all different walks of life, in all different fields. We have brains, we have minds, right? Just because someone is in, the medical field or in science doesn't mean they know everything. Just because someone is not in science, is not in medicine, doesn't mean they don't know anything, right? And so together we rise, together we heal, together we shine. And so yeah, this is fascinating to me because there's so many people who are struggling, who are suffering from this illness, from this disease, right? And there'll be so many more to come. And then this leads way to what else can we figure out, right? Like that's always how my brain works. So we was able to figure something like this out. What else can we figure out? And what else can we figure out? And again, understanding how the medical industry, science needs to work together with the quote unquote, I guess, holistic folks who, believe or practice simply using herbs, right? Diet, meditation, things like that. We need to come together to figure out how to just, again, heal our people on all levels, right? But let us move right along to our third segment of the day. Today's third segment, our tip of the day. Today's tip is to still move your body even if you are injured as much as you can. A lot of times we get injuries and we may get a little sad, depressed even for some folks, right? And get out of your routine. And of course, certain injuries, it's hard to keep doing the same things, right? Like if you lift weights and you have an arm injury, it's hard to continue lifting weights, right? You may not be able to keep lifting weights, right? If you have a back injury, right, and you run, right, you may not be able to run with your back injury. You have a leg injury, right? Certain things you may not be able to do, man. And so, but there's always something that you can do, right? There's always something that you can do. Whether it's, again, you got leg injuries, you can move your arms, right? You can move your back. You can still stretch a little bit, right? Like you could dance a little bit, right? Like you got a leg injury, like you can always do things. And so still move your body, even if injured. You guys know it's a week now, right? Last Monday, I sprained my ankle. It's a little more than the actual sprain. It's bone that came out of place from a previous fracture. Some discomfort, some pain. Went and got like a freaking splint put on it, right? It's uncomfortable. But yesterday was like, okay, like I can't just, keep laying in the bed. It doesn't feel good physically, like on my back, on my butt, right? It doesn't feel good to just lay in the bed. And then it's not good mentally, man. It's not good mentally. It's just lay down and be still, right? We understand the connection between the mind and the body. We understand the connection between how we feel and like our movement. We may not feel so great emotionally, but laying still doesn't help, right? I mean, you get some clarity, right? Like you can lay and breathe and meditate, of course, but movement is medicine. So move your body, right? Get the cells, get the things flowing, man. It creates new thoughts, creates new energy. Right. And so yesterday, going out to the Buddha Center, right? Walking slow, crutches and all of that, man. But my fiance is so patient, right, with me, and helping me, right, in all of the ways. Go to where he was able to go to the park after, right, take the bus to the park. Again, took a while to get to the destination, but slow and steady wins the race. And then this morning, man, doing the bed stretch, right? Like something I've done a little bit of like in my lifetime, right? In the bed, doing little stretches, but going through, 5-7 minute progression this morning was really good. Something that obviously as I, continue to heal from this injury, something I will continue to include in my routine. I'm gonna strive to get some push-ups done today. Push-ups, not push-ups, pull-ups. right? Strive to get some pull-ups done, get some sit-ups done, right? Just gonna do what I can, man. All right, do what I can. Do some fasting today, and just do what I can, right? It jacked me up mentally, man. On top of the life stuff, the personal family stuff I'm dealing with and navigating and trying to navigate. This injury, tripping, falling in the street, really like put me in a little bit of a funk, right? But if I didn't tell you, you wouldn't know, right? Because spirit is still pretty high, right? Definitely was upset first couple of days, right? A little sad after that, like but you work through it, man. And again, you just do your best, right? Sometimes your best is 100%, sometimes it's 50%. Do your best, and so that includes moving your freaking body, man. Like just a little bit of movement is good, right? A little bit of movement is good. There are people, you guys may be surprised, who don't move, right? Like, I mean, they move their legs, right? Like they walk to the kitchen, they get in the car, right? They drive to work or they get on the train. However they get to where they go and they sit, right? But they rarely move. Like people don't really stretch, right? Like, and I don't really stretch as much as I should, but I stretch a little bit, right? Better than I have been, all right, historically. And so it's a process, man. It's a process. Progress is a process. And we take our time. We are patient with ourselves. We show ourselves grace and compassion, right? But we got to push ourselves. We got to push ourselves beyond that comfort level, right? Beyond the comfort zone. The injury will make you want to sit down and just eat. I know, I've been doing it. Right? We had some incredible food this weekend. Like I still taste it on my lips, right? I still taste it on my tongue. Or maybe that's something else I taste. Yo, said food, PG-13. No, it's rated mature. You heard, this is a mature show. We cuss and we talk about, things. But we're going to move right along to our fourth and final segment of the day, guys. We're going to move right along. Willie Will, peace and love, my brother. Peace and love, peace and love. Mona, what you slapping your face for? Well, you got the slapping emoji. What's that about? Why are you covering your face? Why are you blushing? Oh, I'm a mess. Yeah, I'm going to say something smart. But we're going to move right along to our fourth and final segment of the day, our build of the day. Always, today's build is how the Lord works in mysterious ways, right? This is what my mom says, right? Not all the time. She don't really talk about stuff like this, religion or Lord or anything like that, right? Mystery. But one thing she did say, right? And one thing that I know is true, I do know that the universe is mysterious, right? Things happen. I don't think anything happens just because. I think one thing can happen and it could be many reasons, or there could be many things you can pull from that thing happening, right? I don't think we'll ever fully know why a thing may happen, right? I think that's beyond our human understanding fully, but we can, as we seek to ask, right? As we ask, why did this happen? What is this trying to show me? What is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to do for me? Especially when we understand that everything is happening for us, not to us, right? But things are happening for our ascension, for our growth, for our progression, for our elevation. We know that like everything is all good, right? And so, this injury, right? And again, specifically, I like to think that when you stand your ground, right? When you stand on your principles, and when you strive for what you want against all odds, right? Seemingly random things happen. Seemingly random things may happen to bring you closer to your goals, right? And so, right, we're gonna be a little honest. Clear vision, what's going on? What's going on, family? We're gonna be a little honest. I got this injury. All right, same time of having this injury, I am in a space of beginning to look for a new place to live, right? You guys heard it here first. In a mindset, beginning to look for a new place to live in a few months, right? Get out of this crib, get out of this neighborhood, probably, right? Find a new, bigger place to live, right? Need more space. As we, right, get closer to a marriage date, right? We're closer to, right, legally being married and bringing our families together even more so. We need more space, right? And things are happening in a way that is pushing us that way, right? We want to do it anyway, and then life happens in a way that's like, right, you can't keep waiting. This is happening. Move forward, right? Start the plan. And obviously, we know that whenever we talk about moving, we need money, right? And you guys know, right? I'm making a couple of dollars now, nowhere near a whole lot of money, but I'm worth a whole lot more than I have currently, and I know that, and so ain't no stress, ain't no thing. But this injury, right? I fell in the freaking streets of New York, I tripped and fell in the street, hurt myself. Tripped and fell literally in the middle of the street, right? Like in the middle of the street, freaking pothole, tripped over it, fell, hurt myself, kept it pushing, things to do, but lingering injury, right? Talking to family, talking to friends, they're like, yo, you know, like you could like make the complaint. Like, you know what, you're right. And so, well, we get some money, all right, make some things happen, right? Because the city, you know, like you gotta clean the streets up, man. Like, yeah, gotta fix the streets. The streets in New York City are really bad. I'm surprised more people are not getting hurt, right? And mind you, a lot of people are getting hurt. People are falling all the time. People are falling, tripping, hurting themselves all the time in these New York City streets, right? Get your bro. But yeah, man, right? Like, pay attention to the signs. Pay attention to the signs and follow your spirit, right? Follow your spirit. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid to take advantage of a situation, right? Make it work for you, right? Because you know it could not work for you, right? And you could suffer some pain and get nothing from it, right? A lot of us, we go through pain, right? We go through relationship pain, we go through familial pain, we go through emotional, physical, mental anguish, and we get nothing from it. I like to say, if you're gonna go through something, you might as well get something from it, right? Like, which is why you got to keep going. If you're going through hell, as my man say, if you're going through hell, keep going, because if you go back, you're still in hell. So keep going, but keep your mind open, right? Keep your mind open and just pay attention to the signs, because the universe is always giving you signs. It's always leading you closer to your goals. You have to believe that. Like, that is my faith. My faith is that every single thing happens for a reason, and every single thing happens to move me closer to my goals, to move me closer to the vision I have of myself, of my life, of my community, of my world, in my head, my heart, and in my spirit. And so when a seemingly bad thing happens, it's no different, right? For me, it's no different. I understand some people say this is bad, this shouldn't have happened. It happened. What are you going to do about it? You're going to complain and talk about how it shouldn't have happened, and then you're going to miss the blessing? No, it happened. What is this for? What is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to provide for me? Where is this moving me to? Right? And yeah, man, injuries like this, it's you keep your mind open, man, keep your heart open, right? And it can move you closer to your goals if you allow it to, right? And so, yeah, man, again, it was frustrating. It is frustrating, right? It's like a big boot on my foot right now, right? Like, it's really like a freaking, it's insane. It's uncomfortable, right? I had to cancel freaking trips that was already planned and all types of things. Frustrating. But it happened, and right, we're gonna complain about it, and we're gonna let them know that this is not okay. Fix the streets so that people don't keep getting hurt and their lives keep being altered, right, by the lack of care. Right, that's ultimately what it is, the lack of care. People don't care about us in the city, man. They don't care about the streets, right? Like, especially those of us who are born here, those of us who are quote unquote middle class or lower middle class, right? They only care about the wealthy, man. And so if you're in a certain neighborhood, right, that is majority of people who are making it, barely making it, maybe certain things that end up to par, and the streets may be one of them, right? So don't be afraid to complain. Complain to the city. Let them know that you are not happy. Let them know that you are disappointed. Let them know that you are disgusted. Let them know that you are angry. Let them know that you ain't taking this crap no more. They gotta get it right, because we can't keep getting hurt. Like, we can't keep getting hurt. We can't keep doing that. We got children to raise, right? We got careers to build, right? We got dreams to fulfill, and we can't do that if we're hurt, right? I can't do all of my things if I'm walking around with a freaking boot on my foot and a sprained ankle with a bone that came out of place. Like, that's not okay. It's not acceptable. It's unacceptable, 100%. But guys, that is our show, right? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It is 9:30. It is our time. Sefu Sankofa, get your bro. Came up again. But listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Once again, I'm your boy, your host, LaShawn Sugar Ray Marson. This is episode 404 of SRDaily. Remember, we are here Mondays through Fridays, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. right here on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Instagram Live. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please do join us right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, 9 a.m., 9:30 a.m. It's going down. This is week 82 of SRDaily. This is episode 404, right? Episode 405 tomorrow, man. Remember, guys, it ain't getting knocked down. That's the problem. It's staying down. So get up. The power is in you. As always, be kind to yourself and be kind to each other. Peace and love. Happy Monday.